Hello, everybody, distinguished audience. I'm so thrilled to summarize very briefly our activities towards a more regenerative and restorative built environment to you. As Lucas stated before, I'm very honored being the leader of the DoTank Circularity Wien 2020 to 2030. It is the hub linking municipal administration, science, and of course economy to develop together in a very jointly way paths and concepts towards a circular city from latest to the latest date, 2050 and further on. And for me, it is very impossible to stress out that we are not only dealing with resource conservation or circular economy, because it's a transdisciplinary process. So we always keep in mind the fact that we are working on climate protection. So we have to decarbonize the city, as well as we have dealing with climate change adaptation and mitigation. So all those three key factors, climate protection as well as climate change mitigation and resource conservation, they all have to considered in line, just to preserve rebound effects or anything else. First of all, I would like to share the spirit, the working spirit of the core team of the DoTank Circular City Wien 2020 to 2030, which we're very proud of it. I think everybody knows that Vienna has very high standards, there's a high quality of living here, and so we decided that we are following the Red Queen principle. So I'm not sure if you know the story. When Alice entered the Wonderland, one day the Red Queen took her by the hand and they started running as fast as they could. But the landscape did not really change, and Alice asked, why should I run so fast when we are staying at the same spot? And the Red Queen answered, in this country, and in my humble opinion, in this high quality life city, we have to run as fast as we can if we want to stay at least at the same place, at the same spot. So there is another level of paradox. I'm talking to you from the heart of the bureaucracy. We know that we are the one, we have to be really reliable. But in the meantime, we have to reinvent ourselves in circles to adapt to the new circumstances. So, for example, we know that we have to protect or to assure that we are acting within planetary boundaries. There are two major strategies called the Smart City Wien Framework Strategy as well as the Vienna 2030 Economy and Innovation Strategy. They defined or set the guiding goals for us, for the core team of the DoTank. Summarized or very briefly said, the city of Vienna knows that we have to reduce our consumption-based material footprint by 50% by 2050. And everybody knows that the built environment, we are the one, we really can contribute a very big part to this goal. And to achieve this minimizing the material footprint, we have to consider the built environment as a material stock. In order to fulfill this transition from a linear built environment to a circular city, first of all, of course, we will develop and disseminate a long-term vision, which is broadly agreed. And this is the reason why the DoTank Circular City is a hub. We are doing this in a transdisciplinary process where nobody is left behind. And we need the strength of the whole society doing this transition. One part of this achievement will be, of course, to update the Viennese building culture by bringing in the level of circular construction materials and the integral planning approach to our building and planning culture. And of course, we know that we will have to start to update our 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 fundings and legislation, just to know how we can fulfill this goal. Because now we just know that we don't always foster circularity with our legislation. So for this reason, we know that we have to, as I said before, to consider the built environment as a material stock, as a material bank. And for this reason, we know that we start to lay the foundation for material transparency, driven by digitalization. And of course, this will help us to define and stress out the economic as well as environmental benefits of a circular built environment. Because we need to do this, I cannot stress this out much lesser, and I really have to keep in mind that this is a transdisciplinary process together with economy. And for this reason, we started a challenge or market engagement session together with the Federal Service tool of innovative public procurement, where we asked the European market how could a business case look like which distributes a digital platform for a marketplace for circular construction materials, linked with combined services, because as Luca said before, it is not enough only reusing or recycling our materials. So we need to update our planning procedures and of course construction procedures too, using locally harvested materials from our building stock. And so I'm very, very happy to present two of the winners of this challenge to you. The first one, I will hand over the microphone, is Markus. He's the representative of Pulswerk, the Austrian contribution to this challenge. And later on, I will hand over the microphone to Pablo. He's the representative of Madasta, the international proposal which reached us. So, thank you so much for your attention, and I will hand over the microphone or the word to Markus. Thank you so much. And Markus, I will operate this remote control for you, because you know I cannot give it to you.
Okay, thank you, Anna-Vera, for the introduction. What I want to present you in the 3 minutes is the approach that we at Pulswerk GmbH took and take to realize circular economy within the construction area. And next slide, please. I will come to 3 pillars to say so. One is social urban mining. So we do things, we do operative things already for several years with real estate developers. We assess processes in the construction and in the deconstruction of buildings, and we develop new tools in this section. Coming to social urban mining, what is behind this concept? We try to estimate the values that we find in buildings that will be deconstructed or dismantled, and we then, in the planning phase, transform these values into services for the real estate developer, for the building owner, and these services will be performed and worked out by social organizations. So this is the social aspect of urban mining, and for sure we understand buildings as an urban mine. The concept of social urban mining is a kind of an open source concept. Like right now, we are willing to explain it to anybody who is interested to realize it in their area. And for Austria, we already do it under the name of Bau Carousel with partners with Repanet and with Rom Ziviltechniker. We do and realize social urban mining on different sites with several project owners already. And since 2016, we have already proven our impact. This is a huge advantage. We can prove our impact. More than 1,100 tons of materials we handled through our social economic partners. Out of this, more than 540 tons were reuse objects that we kept into use as products. Huge difference to the concept of recycling, but I think we will come to that. And on the other hand, on the social aspect, more than 20,001 hours of social employment we were able to create. We assess things for sure, because we are one unity that is behind quality assessment systems like the state-driven from Klimaaktiv or the private-owned between the ÖGNB, der Österreichischen Gesellschaft für nachhaltiges Bauen. This is the assessment of total quality building. And not to forget the one of the Bundesimmobiliengesellschaft, the holistic building program that we developed in our house for the BIC in Austria. And by running and developing these systems, we are able to integrate new themes, new issues, to develop and to keep these systems up to date, and to therefore attract building owners and project developers. And so far we have assessed more than 200 projects since 2013. And we share our knowledge. We come to the third pillar. We do it, and I have just added the reference to this headline: slow down and narrow the resource use. This is the basic concept of circular economy, as I talk as a waste manager, but it's not just the waste issue, that's a legal term, but it's also when it comes to soil, when it comes to reuse, when it comes to purchase, when it comes to the construction of new buildings. And when I mentioned the question of developing, we already share our knowledge with Baukarussell on our webpage when it's regarding social urban mining. So we give already hints to anyone who is interested. And we also present our reuse-able products that we can offer within an online tool. And we are right now, and that's the point why we are here, is that we offered and we started under the term of good stock, the idea to bring our offers to a new level. And we can do that because, as I mentioned before, we are linked to the resource sector, we are linked to the building sector, which is an absolutely necessary issue. The best platform will not work if the target group does not accept it. So I come to an end. My last message is we need the building developers, we need municipalities, we need public organizations, on the one hand as donator of reuse potential to start circular economy when it comes to the deconstruction of products, and on the other hand as a purchaser to start that market running. This will create impact, and as with social urban mining in other states and other towns, please feel inspired to realize it. From my point of view, circular economy also must reflect the local aspects. Thank you very much.